I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 524, Part 2. Maharshi, these thoughts are yours. They owe their very existence to you. You can entertain these thoughts or relinquish them. The former is bondage, and the latter is release. Questioner, it is not quite clear to me. Maharshi, you must exist in order that you may think. You may think these thoughts or other thoughts. The thoughts change, but not you. Let go of the passing thoughts and hold on to the unchanging self. The thoughts form your bondage. If they are given up, there is release. The bondage is not external, so no external remedy need be sought for release. If it is within your competence to think and thus to get bound or to cease thinking and thus be free. Questioner, but it is not easy to remain without thinking. Maharshi, you need not cease thinking. Only think of the root of the thoughts, seek it, and find it. The self shines by itself. When that is found, the thoughts cease of their own accord. That is freedom from bondage. In this dialogue, the questioner voices a common concern: how to let go of thoughts which seem to arise endlessly and bring feelings of bondage. Sri Ramana Maharshi responds by guiding the questioner to reflect on the nature of thoughts and their relationship to the self. The Maharshi begins by pointing out that the always changing thoughts depend on something constant, the self. He clarifies that thoughts are not the essence of who you are. They are experiences that rise and fall away, while the self remains steady and unchanging. Ramana encourages the questioner to notice this distinction. The questioner's true nature isn't found in the stream of thoughts, but in the awareness that knows them. This awareness, the self, is stable and ever present, unlike the shifting content of thoughts. When the Maharshi says, the thoughts form your bondage, he is pointing to how identification with thoughts limits our experience, keeping us from realizing our deeper nature. Bondage, in this sense, isn't an external prison, but a self-imposed limitation arising from clinging to thoughts as though they define us. Ramana emphasizes that freedom or release lies not in manipulating the outside world, but in letting go of the attachment to thoughts themselves. By doing so, we release ourselves from the perceived bondage of the mind. The questioner then expresses a difficulty in achieving this state of not thinking. The Maharshi reassures them that complete cessation of thought isn't necessary. Instead, he encourages an inward focus on the root of the thoughts. This root is the underlying source from which thoughts arise and dissolve back into, which is the self. By turning attention towards this source, the mind naturally quiets as it shifts from the individual thoughts to their origin. You do not need to stop all thoughts, just the thought of being an ego with its body and mind. When the Maharshi says the self shines by itself, he means that this fundamental awareness does not require effort to exist or to be known. It is not the product of something else. It shines with its own light. It is self-illuminating. The more we focus on it, the less we feel bound by our thoughts. In this self-awareness, thoughts no longer hold the power to create suffering as the identification with them diminishes. Thoughts may continue to arise, but without attachment. They lose their binding force. This clarity and freedom from the grasp of thoughts is what Ramana Maharshi calls freedom from bondage. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment